starting.
I'm gonna run rings around this place!
That I quite like, that being Zombie Riot. So, before I get any further into this, I might as well explain what Zombie Riot is. Zombie Riot is a PvE game mode, dedicated community game mode, that involves, well, holding a team of survivors holding out for multiple waves against basically NPCs. Now, it is called Zombie Riot, but it does involve things other than
Sonic's
zombies.
my name, speed's my game!
That being said, an important part of Zombie Riot is the maps. And the whole point of this series is to try and explain how to properly play these maps. I'm going to be going through them in order based on how they show up when you open the Nominate menu. Now, I am not running a server with the plugin enabled, so nothing will happen if I do that, but just trust me when I say this is the first map that shows up under Raid Rush. And I do specify Raid Rush on this because Survival is, due to a recent rework, is now no longer the same thing, and map difficulty is different for that. So, this is the only easy map considered under Raid Rush, and that's why it's listed first. The name of this map is Streets, and from my knowledge, it is a convert of a VSH map, or Boss vs. Boss, which is another game mode that I'm not going to get into, that was made into a ZR map. Now, that being said, to actually get into the meat and potatoes of things, this map has, if I remember correctly, 2 spawns. Both are marked by those blue lights. This right here is a spawn, and you see I can't walk into it because there's an NPC blocker there, or sorry, a player clip blocker. And here. I'm going to check around real quick, make sure I'm not going crazy and there's not some hidden third spawn that I'm not aware of, but I believe that's it. Okay, this might be a spawn. If this is a spawn, I don't think I've ever seen zombies spawn there, so I think I'm right in saying there's only 2. Anyways. This map is generally pretty easy. As you can see, it's very open and a lot of space to run around. That being said, that openness can be a disadvantage with certain long-range enemies, but to move on to discussing strategy for this map has 3 generally used hold spots. The first one, and the one you'll see most often, is on this roof here. This roof gives the best overlook of the rest of the map, and also, unlike some other spots, it actually has a proper escape route. So if you stand here, you can just jump down from this area and onto the lower level, in case the base gets overrun. By base, I mean there will be a barricade, usually about here. Sometimes people will hold farther back about here, but usually they'll be here, and people will be walking around here in front of the cades to make sure the zombies don't get to it, to save the builders in trouble. Besides that, there is also this spot over here. This spot is used significantly less often. I don't think I've seen it probably used in maybe a year, but it was very common when this game mode was new and people didn't know how to hold properly. It is still a viable spot on easier difficulties, but it's limited in the fact that the second this cade goes down when you're holding the staircase, you're completely fucked. There is no escape. Actually, I say that. Hold up. I think it changed. I might be an idiot. Okay, no, you still can't jump down there. So yeah, that clip brush prevents you from going down there. Besides that, there is one final spot. This spot I've seen used a few times recently. It's this area back here. Now, the nice thing about this area back here is that it's more contained in the sense that A, the enemies have to travel farther to get to you, and B, any long-range enemies, such as sniper enemies, they are not a threat. So if you're standing over there in the usual spot and they spawn, they can just basically have free fucking pickings at you and all the other buildings, and that's really fucking annoying. So generally this spot is better. It's also a good fallback spot as well. If you're playing on a difficulty like the Void / Unspeakable, where you can get multiple spawns that aren't normal. Or what I mean is that there'll be portals that spawn that will spawn additional zombies from different angles, so it's a good secondary base, and it prevents you from dying, again, to sniper enemies. So other than that, not a whole ton else to explain. It's a fairly simple, straightforward map. Um, Kiting, yeah, generally pretty simple. You have decent routes to kite in. I'll just show them. This spot right here, like I said, this is a bit tight, so sometimes you can get cut out here. And you can also maybe use this as a challenge hold spot, like if you just wanted to challenge yourself to, you know, not have the same game every fucking time. But you can use these buildings as cover to run around the map. This staircase has a bridge under it that lets you also run around it. But this also can be very easily cut off. These paths aren't super wide. I think they're probably about 150 hammer units wide each, so that's about 2 enemies, so you can decently easily get caught there, especially if it's the start of a wave. But other than that, I don't have a whole ton else to explain. This is just kind of an easy map, very fucking open. Shouldn't be too much of a challenge to win on anything lower than, I would say, Sensile difficulty, and even then, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, that's that.